Welcome to Solid Mushrooms, everybody. If you're here, then you're wanting to find out more about mycology, growing mushrooms. And I had a bit of a thought the other day. There's not a lot of coverage with the very basics in this hobby, this form of cultivation or anything like that. So I thought I'd do a quick rundown on syringes, grains, subs, sterile tech, and anything else you guys want to see, really. So, syringes, single use. You can re-sterilize these. There are some videos online, however, they're very cheap. And if you buy a liquid culture syringe, the vendor will have this charged with liquid culture, usually about 11 mils, because that's how far the plunger goes back before it stops. You can get these really cheap, as mentioned, and if you buy in bulk, when you get into this hobby, you could end up using quite a lot of them. They do get cheaper with the more that you buy. Now they come in sterile packaging. As soon as this packaging's opened, it's not sterile anymore. So in our sterile environment, if we're going to drop some cultures, for example, we need to spray all these packages down with isopropyl alcohol. Give them a good rub. Like the camera, I bet you the speakers are loving that sound at the moment. And then we set it down. Also, we'll be cleaning our hands as well. I'll go into sterile tech. I do go into it in my other videos as well, so we'll touch on that another time as well. The same can be said for your needles. You've got the size there, 19 gauge. For using liquid culture, use anything from 16 to 19 gauge. And they all come about 1.5 inches. You do get longer needles for different applications, but this is what you're going to use. Again, packages all need to be cleaned down before you use them, and you can see that the package is open just like that. Just rip them apart. There's a lure stopper, same kind of situation. Clean it down before you use it. Now, how do you attach a needle onto a lure lock syringe? Now, if you look at the syringe, you can see it's threaded on the inside. And there's these little wing nuts on the needle. You can stick this in any way. You don't have to line up these wing nuts with anything. You just stick it over so that the inside portion of the syringe goes into the inside of the hypodermic needle. And you just screw it in clockwise like that until it's nice and firm. And then you've got your needle. If you're going to be drawing up, I notice when I get a new syringe, there's a little bit of an air gap there. As you can see there, tiny bit of an air gap. If you're going to be drawing up cultures with these, you want to be closing this off all the way home first. So it might come like that. Close it off all the way, otherwise you're going to get loads of air in your cultures as you're drawing them up. Point to note, the way I'm handling this, once these have been opened, they're still sterile in your still air environment or in front of your flow hood. I wouldn't be touching these anywhere where there's going to be any risk of contamination. So you'd keep your needle, obviously for safety, you'd keep it in its protective sheath as well, but also it's keeping everything clean. You only take this cap off when you're absolutely ready to do so. Okay, so what does that look like in real life? Well, we spray everything down, all the components that we're going to use. Give it a good rub, and we'll let them dry 100%. Also need to clean our hands, obviously. That would be done beforehand, but it's good to do periodic hand cleaning as well with 70% isopropyl alcohol. And then in front of our flow hood or in still air environment, we're going to just open up our syringe. We're not going to hold it by the lure fitting. We're just going to keep it like this. You can even keep the packet on if you wish. And then we're going to open up our needle. We're not touching the lure fitting again. And then we're going to just mate them together like that. And then we can get rid of all the packaging, put that in the bin. And there you go, that's it. Then you can draw up your cultures. If you're buying a liquid culture from the post, as mentioned before, you'll have a full needle with some sort of growing media in it, or a spore syringe, exactly the same thing. You might find that your needle comes separate and that the vendor has sent it with a lure stopper. Again, look, if I'm applying this lure stopper onto this syringe, let's pretend this is sterile. I'm holding it in such a manner that my gloves, even though they've been cleaned, do not touch any of the threads or anything like that that's going to go inside the syringe. So your liquid culture will come like this. Annoyingly, you can thread a needle onto that, and then this is what I did when I first started. I'm like, why is it not coming out? It's because it's a cap, and I've not seen one of these caps before starting this hobby, which really does seem a bit silly, shall we say. But yeah, this cap, all it serves is a more permanent, secure method of keeping that media, and a clean method of keeping that media inside the syringe, whether that be your spore solution or your liquid culture. So your vendor sent you the syringe, then you would need to follow the cleaning protocols and the kind of mounting methods, if that's what you want to call it, the connection methods of the syringe, of the needle to the syringe. So in front of our still air environment again, everything's been cleaned down. I just got this from the vendor. It's not in sterile packaging because he's removed that before he's used it. Clean everything down. We let it dry 100%. Then you would open up your needle. You'd remove, very carefully, you'd remove your lure stopper. You don't touch the syringe at the top where the fittings are, and then you would screw on your sterile syringe. And that's it. Then you follow your grow kit instructions or your grain instructions, and you'd inject your set amount of mils into your growing media. Hope this basic tutorial was good for you, and if you liked it, I'm going to be doing more of these. Drop me a comment, tell me what you want to learn, tell me what confuses you about mycology, home growing. If you want to know what an abbreviation means, if you want to see a particular see what a particular thing is or learn more about it, just drop me a comment. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.